Lovelies, 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 lovelies. Welcome back to my channel. Or bienvenidos, bienvenidos a mi canal. So, today's video is a bit different. As you can tell, I am like freaking outside. I know, crazy. Look at me go. This video is like in the spirit of Halloween, so that's why we're doing it like this. But anyways, today I have a special guest. Can we take any guesses on who this guest is? I'll give you a second. Okay, that's enough time. Our special guest is Michaela. I apologize for returning. Yeah, I know y'all hate her so much. That's why I decided to bring her back. No, I'm just kidding. It's a punishment. Okay, but y'all know what this video is gonna be as you read the title. So, I hope y'all enjoy. And let's get on with the video. So, I'm sorry if there's like a lot of noise. I'm trying here. Okay, anyway, so this video is just gonna be for this little quick clip. It's just gonna be for shoutouts. So the people who got shoutouts from my last video were Keon, Anthony with 3 Y's, FW __ Day, Xeno or Xeno, I think it's how you say it. Next we have Aiden Aramburo. Next we have MXRIONI. Next we have Juicy CLXPC. Next we have Noah Banana 69. Next we have XO. And lastly we have Vic P. So those are the people who got a shout out from my last video. They were the first 10 people to comment. So if you want a shout out, be one of the first 10 people to comment. Or be one of the first 5 people to find the hidden emojis somewhere in this video. The people from my last video who found the hidden emoji are going to be listed right here. Or actually, it can be over here. Right there. Look at them. Beautiful. Okay, I just wanted to keep this short so we can get on with the video now. So a little disclaimer. If you're wondering why she's going to be holding the book so close to her face, she's blind. And her vision is non-corrective, so she can't wear glasses or anything, if that makes sense. So, yeah, don't be judgmental, guys. This is how she lives. If you think you're annoyed, imagine how I am. Okay. Ellen stopped abruptly and heard Sybil and Nola stumbling to a halt behind her. She heard one of them gasp as they also got a glimpse of the horrible sight. "Do you think she killed somebody?" demanded Nola in a shrill voice, backing away. Although Nola had spoken loudly, the woman gave no sign that she even noticed. The 3 girls. "I don't know," whispered Ellen. "Well, let's not stick around to find out," insisted Sybil. "Let's get out of here." The 3 girls broke into a run, stumbling over roots, dodging tree branches and prickly bushes. The 3 friends fled in the direction of their school. Every few feet, one of them would cast a panicked glance over her shoulder to see if the horrible laundresses were chasing after them, but she seemed to have vanished in the mist. Ellen broke out of the trees first, with Nola and Sybil close behind. Then together they raced across the meadow to the safety of the school football field. Erin Smith, the teenage daughter of the PE teacher, was jogging around the dirt track that circled the field. Ellen called out as they ran toward the older girl. "What is it?" Erin asked, in alarm when she saw their panicked faces. "What's the matter?" Ellen gasped. "We saw something horrible black among the stream." "It was an old woman," added Nola in a breathy voice, "and she was washing clothes covered with blood." Sybil finished.
Okay. Erin's eyes widened in disbelief. "What?" she asked. "What exactly did you see?" Ellen had removed her breath. Ellen had recovered her breath by this point and attempted to tell their story as calmly as she could. When she finished, she shuddered with the awful memory. "And the old woman never said a word," Nola added. "She never even looked up." Erin considered what she just heard. Then she looked at the 3 girls with confidence. "I know what you saw," she said. "You've just described a bean." What?
A bean high.
I'm gonna say bean high. A bean high.
to get soaked and first period is starting. I'm out of here. And with that, she stormed off and toward the school. Deciding that she was probably right, Nola and Ellen said goodbye to Aaron and followed their friend to class. Aaron's just trying to scare us, Nola whispered. Yeah, Ellen whispered back, hoping that Nola was right. The rain grew stronger throughout the day and lightning filled the sky. By the end of the afternoon, icy hail was coming down in sheets. Rather than walk home in the downpour, Ellen called her mom at work to see if she could drive her and Nola home. Saibo, who truly loved the cold weather, decided she'd rather walk. Stupid Saibo. Watch out for the bloody laundry lady. Ellen joked during the day that they had come to agree that Saibo that they had seen was a beggar woman washing her clothes. Now they were practically convinced that what they thought was blood was only some kind of wine or food stain. In this weather, Saibo asked with the raised eyebrow, no laundry is that important. She burst out laughing and headed for the forest.
By the time Ellen sat down for dinner, the hail had turned to snow. Looks like we're in for a real blizzard. That was us last year, wasn't it? Her dad said as he came to the table after watching the news. Really, Ellen asked, a faint sort of excitement running through her at the thought of school being canceled. Like us with COVID. I sure hope, but the ring on the telephone interrupted her, and she excused herself to answer it. It was Siebel's mother asking if she'd seen Siebel. She never came home from school. She never came home. The word from it said, "Please, Ellen, can you tell me where she is?" But all Ellen could offer was the news that Siebel had decided to walk home after school by herself. See, guys, this is why you should never, ever walk home from school by yourself if you see an old beggar woman cleaning blood off her laundry. It's a period. It's period. Over the next few hours, as the winds rose and the snow began to fall more heavily, policemen searched the neighborhood for Siebel. Her body was found within a few hours, lying halfway in the stream in the woods. They say she probably slipped and fell, Ellen explained in a tense telephone conversation with Nola. After the initial shock had worn off, they were already over their friend dying. Okay, had worn off. She must have hit her head. Fake friends. She must have hit her head on a rock or something and froze to death before she could come to. Do you really believe that? Nola asked. What do you mean? Ellen returned, almost defensively. Of course I do, don't you? It just seems so sudden. Nola answered. I don't know what to believe. They were both silent for a moment, thinking of their friend. Then Nola asked hesitantly, what about the woman we saw this morning?
What about her? Ellen demanded harshly. She wasn't about to admit the same thought had already crept into her head. She had been relieved that if Aaron had been telling the truth, that at least they now knew who had seen the washing woman first. Sure, it had made Ellen feel disgusted with herself for thinking such a horrible thing, but she had to admit she was glad she wasn't the one who was found dead in the stream. Oh, wow. Well, Nola continued. Wait, maybe the woman she saw really was the benign thing Aaron was talking about, and you're happy Saibo was the one to see it first. Ellen said, accusing her friend of her own selfish thought. Nola sounded shocked. No, I'm wondering if Aaron was right. Maybe the curse counts for everyone who sees the woman. Now Ellen felt really scared. Look, Nola, Saibo's mom said the police told her it was an accident. That's good enough for me. She searched for an excuse to hang up. Anyway, I've got to get on the phone now. My mom wants to use it. Okay, Nola said, unconvinced. I'll see you tomorrow morning. I hope. By morning, thick drifts of snow had piled up overnight, and the radio announcer reported that her school would be closed for a day. Ellen's wish had come true, but her parents weren't so lucky. Their offices were both staying open, so Ellen asked her dad to drop her off at Nola's house on his way to work.
By unspoken agreement, neither of the girls mentioned the strange woman they had seen the previous day. Still, they couldn't help talking about Siebel and how much they missed her. Oh, now they miss her, but they sure didn't miss her a minute.
Fake friends.
By mid-morning, the snow began falling again, and soon after, while Ellen and Nola were watching TV, the electricity went out. Oh boy. With the
But Nola's horrible choking only became worse. In desperation, Ellen grabbed her friend from behind, wrapped her arms around Nola's chest like she had seen on TV and squeezed. But nothing happened, and Nola's face was now changing from red to blue, and her lips were turning a horrible shade of purple, with her veins swollen on her forehead as if they were about to pop. Nola fell to her knees. She turned an agonized face toward Ellen, then fell to the floor in a deadly silence. Then her body relaxed and the color completely drained from her face. "Nola!" Ellen said in a small voice. Then she screamed, "No!" and ran out of the house. She had no clear idea of where she was going. All she knew was she had to get away from her friend's body. And all she heard over and over again were Aaron's words. "The benign is only seen by those who are about to die." Suddenly feeling the cold air going right through her thick turtleneck, Ellen realized that she had run out of Nola's house without her jacket. Panicking, she looked around. It was hard to recognize where she was. Everything was wet and she was swirling snow, made it impossible for her to see more than a few feet in front of her. To make matters worse, with the electricity down, there were no street lamps or house lights to form landmarks. "I am not going to die," she said out loud to no one. "It's just a coincidence, that's all it is, a horrible coincidence." She began walking in what she thought was the right direction, toward her house. But before long, she was shivering so hard her teeth were chattering. She tried to
angle herself towards the sidewalk and ended up stumbling into a street sign. By squinting, she could barely make out the letters, and she happily realized that she was about 5 blocks away from home. Only 5 blocks.
She's gonna die.
No problem, she told herself. I've done this walk hundreds of times before, but not in weather like this. Ignoring her traitorous thoughts, Ellen struggled forward toward what she hoped was her house. Soon her world narrowed to the patch of snow directly in front of her feet. She walked like an old woman, bent over and shaking, breathing into fits of coughing and murmuring the word coincidence over and over again. When she finally reached her own street, it felt as if a huge weight had been lifted from her. She broke into a quick shuffle as she hurried towards the warmth and safety of her home. Before she knew it, her yard was in front of her and she ran up the front walk and flung herself through the door. It took a long time for her numbed brain to register that the house was dark. Then she remembered that the electricity was dead. First things first, she thought as another spurt of coughing clutched her chest. She stumbled down the dark hallway to the bathroom and reached into the medicine closet for the cough medicine. She knew from experience that the taste was horrible, so she quickly gulped down a couple of mouthfuls. Suddenly, pain shot through her with such intensity that it pitched her to the floor. Her throat began to burn, and her stomach felt like it was being torn apart. She tried to scream, but the walls of her throat had swollen shut. Her weakened body flopped on the floor like a fish out of water.
And her vision dimmed. Whatever she had swallowed wasn't cough medicine. Then, like a hideous joke, the lights flickered back on, just in time for Ellen to see that she had drunk a bottle of her mother's hair dye. Coincidence? Yeah, right. Was her final mocking thought before the poisonous liquid took her. Wow. Wow, that was crazy. That whack friends, whack story, whack death. That girl, she deserved to die. I will say that. She deserved the way she died. She deserved it. Any thoughts?
Definitely. If you feel like you have some fake friends, go up to them and ask them what they would do if the benign came up. You saw it, how they would react to you dying. That'll show their true colors.
Yeah, it says it all. Yeah.
But it's called the window. Ooh, the window. Margaret and her brothers, Paul and David, shared a small house just
Before she could open the door, it was back. Margaret found herself staring through the window at a shrunken face, like that of a mummy. Its yellow-green eyes gleamed like a cat's eyes. She wanted to scream, but she was so frightened that she could not make a sound. The creature broke the window glass, unlocked the window, and crawled inside. Margaret tried to flee, but the creature caught her. It twisted its long, bony fingers into her hair. Ew. Pulled back her head. Ugh. And sank its teeth into her throat. Margaret screamed and fainted. When her brothers heard her piercing scream, they rushed to her room. But by the time they got the door unlocked,
The creature had fled. Margaret lay on the floor bleeding and unconscious. While Paul tried to stop the bleeding, David chased the creature down the hill toward the graveyard, but soon he lost sight of it. The police thought it was the work of an escaped lunatic who believed he was a vampire. When Margaret recovered, her brothers wanted to move to a safer place where it would be harder to break in, but Margaret refused. Frickin' Margaret, you idiot. The creature would never come back. Oh, yeah, right. She was sure of that. But just in case, Paul and David began to keep loaded pistols in their room. Look at that. Look at that. It's scary. One night, months later, Margaret was awakened by a scratching sound at the window. When she opened her eyes, there was the same shrunken face staring at her. That night, her brothers heard her cries in time. They chased the creature down the hill, and David shot it in the leg, but the creature managed to scramble over the graveyard wall and disappeared near the old burial vault. The next day, Margaret and her brothers watched as the section of the church opened the burial vault. Inside was a horrifying scene. Broken coffin bones and rotting flesh were scattered all over the floor. Only one coffin had not been disturbed.
the sexton opened it. There lay the creature with the shrunken face that had attacked Margaret. The telltale bullet was in its leg. They rid themselves of a vampire. Oh my god, my nose. The sexton built a roaring blaze outside the vault and fed the shrunken body to the flames. They watched the body burn until nothing remained. But ashes. The end. So that is going to be the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. This video was a bit different. You know, we love doing different things. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I love you guys, and I will see you all next video. Bye. So the first story we have is called Bloody Laundry.
What's the first story?
That's like my third time saying it. Okay, anyways.
Alexia. Just put it back in.
Oh, I saw how big that fucking mosquito was.
It feels dry, like eczema.
Put the camera. Hurry up. We need to get out of here.
We don't have to look at that. Oh, that'd be terrifying if we didn't know, like, if there wasn't a dog out here and there's that.
Spooky story. Oh, that's ugly. Spooky story.
Hashtag cocaine.
Don't go too far.
Bella. It's been like a week. Usually they say just leave it in for like a week.
How'd it go? Where'd the ball go? You put it in for me.
So our special guest today is
It's making me queasy looking at it.
Back to the video.